Hi, I'm Jordan Davies and welcome to That Wrexham Podcast. 2 years at Wrexham or 3 months at Doncaster and I just played it safe. I came here and what a choice that was. When you're out of contract and someone throws something at you, you almost have to take it thinking you feel desperate, don't you?
What's the differences, right, from this club now to pre-takeover? Try and paint a picture of what it was like before.
Just think they've exceeded every expectation you could have ever asked for. What would I have asked for? Stabilise the place, get the place to somewhere where people want to come, something to be proud of as a community, and they've done that and more.
Welcome back to That Wrexham Podcast. Today on the show we have got the Cody Assassin. How have you been, mate?
Good, mate. Just, getting by at Fleetwood. Been loving it up there. Breathed a new lease of life into me, I think, after, I was grinding away in the PFA camp. To see a bit of reward on the back of that was nice.
What was the PFA camp like then? So, to paint a picture, you've obviously left here and struggled, fair to say, to get a club. How was that? Like, what was that period like?
Yeah, so went to Grimsby, didn't I, in the last year of my contract, and probably it went to plan to begin with, as things seemed to do, and then I had 2 hamstring injuries which kept me out for too long, to be honest. So I found myself without a club. Obviously, communication was brilliant here with Wrexham and the gaffer. I knew pretty early on that I wasn't going to have another contract offered to me, which was fine. I understand. I felt it was the time for me to leave. And then, I don't know, I just felt like it would be easy and I'd walk into another club. And, I thought, there's a couple of League 2 clubs near me, no problem, someone will want me. And it creeps closer and closer and you're getting told day by day that you're not on their list or you're not wanted, doesn't suit, blah, 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 blah. And then, I found myself, everyone was back in pre-season and I needed to be doing something because I don't naturally carry that fitness very well. So I needed to be doing something, and someone mentioned the PFA camp to me and I thought, no, because ego. I didn't think I needed it. I thought I'd be fine, but it was the best thing I ever done in that time, and I'd recommend it to absolutely anyone.
How long were you there for in the camp?
So I joined week 4, and I think I'd done 7 or 8 weeks.
Yeah, we were looking like they would do the list, wouldn't
That's
they?
it.
Every week they would announce the list of who was in it, and every week you were looking at different names. But we kept seeing yours in there. Kept thinking, come on soon, come on soon.
Also on the score sheet every game.
and also on the score sheet every week,
which wasn't
as well.
ever a surprise. But just for context, the PFA is the Professional Footballers Association, so that's a body that kind of looks after
our union.
every professional footballer, and obviously they kind of cover the costs for you as well.
Mate, you'd get an email Saturday to say, you've been accepted, because every week they had over 200 applicants.
Wow.
And there was it 40? So lucky, counting myself lucky.
Yeah.
Some weeks, some people missed out through, just what was the fairest possible way they could do it. They just had to rotate it. Luckily, I didn't really miss out in any of the weeks. Buzzing. You'd arrive there Monday afternoon. You'd get put in a room for 3 days. It was lovely. Champney Springs, I can't remember where it is. Derby way. Brilliant, mate. Everything looked after, felt right at home straight away. All the recovery, every training session just boxed off. And without it, I don't know where I would have been. I think that allowed me so much time to pick the right option. And I think that's the biggest thing that comes from it. I think when you're out of contract and someone throws something at you, you almost have to take it thinking you feel desperate, don't you? But the PFA camp allowed me to get fit, get sharp, take a step back almost and go, whoa, I'm actually going to be okay. And then by the end of it, I had 6 League 2 clubs to pick from, which at the start of it, I couldn't really get answers from National League clubs. It's, for me, I'll be forever grateful for the PFA for that.
So quickly, how it works is at the end of each week you have basically a show-off match, don't you? A chance to impress, really, where all the scouts will come, like coaches from different football clubs.
Teams,
you play against different teams, and then that's your chance to impress, basically. And that's where, if they want to sign you, they can go for you from there. Yeah,
so the week really leads up to them games. It's about prepping you for them games, and luckily I think I scored 2 in every one, so
it's not bad.
Done all right.
It's not bad.
Right.
Never in question. Your ability is absolutely never
any
in
signature hammer foot goals?
No, a couple
Whippies.
of headers, a couple of right footers.
Yeah,
showing I could do it with both
naughty
feet.
little right footers. Yeah,
for standing on. But no, I don't know where they came from. But it was class.
Yeah.
Let's go all the way back then, right? So What age did you sign for Wrexham as a kid?
9.
And you were here from, tell us, you were here from 9 till...
So I was crew 5 to 9, got released from crew. They give me Wrexham's number, my dad rung up, said, yeah, no probs, come down for a trial. Did all the trial stuff. 9 till 18, done my scholar here, loved it under Joey and Andy. Then at 18, on my 18th birthday, I signed for Bangor in the Welsh Premier League.
Oh, wow.
Went on loan. That opened my eyes massively into the real world, men's football. Nothing could have prepared me for that. And then the change the managers here, Gary Mills went, Keatsy came in, and I always got on really well with Keatsy and Andy. Andy then bumped up to assistant manager here, and then they brought me back because Bangor wasn't getting ran very well. It got ran into the ground a couple of years later, so they almost looked after me. I actually couldn't play here because of the international clearance, because I was in the Welsh thing, so they brought me back in the middle of November, just said, come, you're not going there, you're going to train with us for the rest of the time. And then Keatsy knew how much it meant to me. Was it maybe like the New Year's Day game? I think everything was agreed with Brighton, but Keatsy knew how much it meant to me, so he put me on the bench. I was never allowed to go on, which I'll always thank him for that because he didn't have to do that at all. So I did the bench, and then I think the Sunday I went down to Brighton.
What's they bought you?
Yeah, they did. 100 grand, I think it was in the end.
Unbelievable,
Yeah.
And then you come back. How many years did you do at Brighton?
I did 3.5, so I signed a 3.5 year deal at Brighton.
What was that like?
That's a big change, right?
Yeah. I'd never, like I said, up till 18, I didn't know there was any life outside of Wrexham. I got through in at Bangor, which is like this end of the spectrum, and then come back, and then January I was the top end of the spectrum with Brighton, and walked in there, and I just remember first day they were like, right, you've got training 10 o'clock on pitch 15. And
15
like,
pitches?
Pitch 15, you're joking, we trained at a park down here. I remember I turned up with dirty boots because I didn't really know that was a thing. First training session, manager pulled me right in front of everyone and goes, you've signed here now, you raise your standards, that's not acceptable, which I've always remembered. It's the little things, isn't it? So never wore dirty boots there again. And yeah, I was trained on pitch 15 at 10 o'clock.
Were Brighton Prem at that time?
No, they were champ.
Yeah.
It was them and Newcastle going at it. And they went up that summer.
Yeah.
What is it? So what's it like then for an 18-year-old kid move away from home and you go and live in digs or apartment? Or?
They put me in digs, and I really didn't like the feeling of living in someone else's house. I just felt like an intruder the whole time, and I didn't get on with it. So I just communicated with them. They bounced me around a few digs just to try and get a feel, and I just didn't like it. I just felt like I was almost stealing from them, and I just didn't want that. So they put me up in my own flat, and from there I stayed in that flat for 3 years and loved, not every moment because there's injuries, because it's a lie to say I loved every moment, but what a club, what a well-run club. And I think I seen all that behind the scenes, and now people see all the transfer, like the money they've got for their players is just down to the infrastructure from the bottom, and I think they're just reaping the rewards of that now.
Doing it properly, and then that's taught you how to do it properly yourself, right?
The standards day to day there was incredible. Like, it's just all about thriving and getting the best out of you, and look how many people have gone on to play right at the top level from there.
So then you then get let go from there?
Let go from there. Had a Zoom call in COVID. Gutted I never got to say bye to the people like, chefs and all that sort of stuff, kitmen. Didn't really get to say a proper bye, which is a shame. Middle of COVID, get told not going to get kept on, which I knew, again, you get the feeling. I knew I wasn't Premier League level, so I had no bad word to say about Brighton. And then I'm in COVID. Obviously, no one knew what they were doing in any walk of life. So my agent phoned Andy. Like, I put myself in touch with Andy and Keatsy because I knew them both, and just said, let's do it. But obviously Wrexham were in a terrible space. They just stayed up on points per game in COVID. So I was a bit apprehensive. So I went to Doncaster first on trial, and they offered me 3 months deal in the middle of COVID. And I just said, listen, like, you can't expect me to take that. So I had 2 years at Wrexham or 3 months at Doncaster, and I just played it safe. I came here, and what a choice that was turned out to be, isn't
Played
it?
Safe. Played it double safe.
Yeah, I feel like in that time I just couldn't take 3 months in COVID. Like, I didn't think I was the right option. So you get a feel as well. So I got a feel.
Also
come
a
back
hometown
home.
club now.
Hometown club. I lived away from my family, so I thought, well, I'm just going to come and live at home. It was nice. It was simple. And the rest is history. Almost,
That's pre-takeover, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the differences, right, from this club now to pre-takeover? Try and paint a picture of what it was like before.
One of the big thing that will always be is like, so when I was a kid, we trained at Colliers, and that was unbelievable for anyone in the Wrexham area. That was like, because it felt like you were at an academy because you were at a training ground. Whereas I think the club lost its way as soon as we lost Colliers. I know all the stuff that happened. Then coming back, the year before, we were training on Lex. We were training on 9 Acres. I don't know if you even ever trained on 9 Acres.
There, no.
So the year before, when we were playing first team, it was COVID. We'd be training and we probably overachieved, but there was times where we didn't achieve what, and you'd just be training and people be tooting their cars going past saying, come on, get out, what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. Like, the training ground was literally a park down the road.
Yeah.
And
I think you might have showed me, actually, because we used to be in the car school together, didn't we?
That's it. We drive past it and you wouldn't believe that we trained there. Now, the club's in the Championship, so it's crazy, isn't it?
Let's go back to when Humphrey, right?
No, can we go just before that?
Okay.
Just because, like, you were here when everything started to like take shape, yeah. When the new owners were apparently coming in, at Hollywood A-listers, and surely you being a hometown kid and seeing it all happening was thinking, nah, come on, this is like there's no chance.
I remember you catch wind of it and you hear of takeovers in football, and I was like, this could be pretty cool. No idea how it would go, and then there was just like little murmurs coming out from everywhere. You're not going to believe who's actually going to take this over, because I remember when the people that they were saying were just, I know, not B-listers, but they weren't big. And then it finally started to leak in little bits. And I remember even Keatsy said to me one day, you're not going to believe who's actually took over this place. Yeah. And I'm like, tell me. And he's like, I can't. It's like, obviously I can't do it. And then I've just got a memory of, we were sat in the stand for one of the games and there was 4 or 5 of us, and like we didn't find out anything beforehand. We looked on, it's been announced, and Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. We're like, I'm not sure who Rob is, but Ryan's huge. Like, wow, what does this look like? Anyway, fast forward a week, Gaffer's had all his meetings. Gaffer Keatsy had all his meetings with whoever he's had his meetings with, and then we have a meeting one morning, and Keatsy lines it up. Humphrey walks in, and I think it's on the documentary. Yeah. It's brilliant. Out of nowhere, this big 6'7" fella just looks like someone off Mastermind, I always say.
And he's proper awkward.
Yeah.
He would have hated it, by the way. And he did hate it. We spoke to him, we did it on our podcast, and he said, I hated it. I was so nervous. I've got my back up against the wall and there's like a light switch behind me and I've rubbed it and flicked the lights off. And he said, it was just horrible.
I just remember him thinking, you look at someone and thought, you have no, like...
Yeah.
You have no concept of football. You've never done a meeting like that before. But somehow he's got that warmness, you're almost just bought in from him being so naive.
Yeah.
I actually think people bought into his naivety. Yeah. And then he shut the door and Keatsy just went, what was that?
Yeah. Like, does he know this, Humphrey? Well, he does now.
I think it was like, it was just
he must have known, because it was on the documentary.
It was on the documentary, and then like obviously the documentary cut and Keatsy carried on a bit, and it was just like, what are we in for, lads? And yeah.
Because anything could be... nobody knows if they're going to do it properly. Nobody knows if it's just a little toy. You could be doing it for a few years, or lose interest, lose a bit of money, that'll do. Then it's real trouble again, isn't it?
I think, because everyone's been so scarred with the owners previously, from the very start, I've always said, you're waiting for them to do something wrong.
Wrong, yeah.
They still haven't to this day, I don't
it's
think.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah. To be fair, even, I think one of the first things they did was it not... Everyone was furloughed, wasn't it? Didn't they then pay everyone's wages just to bring it up to...
Yeah, I can't remember stuff like that, but you're just not surprised, are you, by what they've done?
Because, going back to that stage in our lives, people were getting furloughed and only getting that amount of money, weren't they? And then I believe that the owners came in and said, well, no, that's not right. We're going to give honour everyone's contract.
Footballers were kind of separate. We were kind of sort of semi-safe, weren't we?
Yeah.
But the staff, all the people that worked at the
teams
stadium,
in the EFL were safe, I think.
Yeah, teams in the EFL. I think National League probably fell below it, didn't they? But to come in and just commit to that straight away, that is a show of faith, isn't it?
Absolutely shocked us.
Yeah, because in COVID, this place was a ghost town.
Yeah.
Like the staff, no one was on. Like the meals were microwave meals. Like it was just pre-made microwave meals. There was nothing at all.
Did you ever think that they'd be that hands-on with everything?
No, I just think they've exceeded every expectation you could have ever asked for. What would I have asked for? Stabilise the place, get the place to somewhere where people want to come, something to be proud of as a community, and they've done that and more.
And as your club as well, no?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just think before the takeover, the place, I obviously left for 3 years, Brighton, affluent city, brilliant. I come back and I was like, wow, this place is in desperate need of something. Yeah. I didn't know what that was. I didn't think it would be two Canadian and American taking over the football club, but it needed something, and wow, it got something.
And then the documentary comes along. I mean, how did you find it? Because for me, I've spoken about it before, but I personally didn't really like it. I didn't really want anything to do with it. But obviously, you in your situation sharing such a personal situation.
Yeah, I think to begin with, it just took me by surprise. I didn't have a clue. Like I was like, "What's this?" Like it felt really awkward. I think it felt really forced within the football club for the first year. It just wasn't natural. We'd say, me and you would have a conversation, wouldn't we? And like then the cameras would come in, and it's just like it's the most unnatural thing in the world because we're footballers. We're not actors. And I think you just get used to it. And that's what I told people when they signed. I said, okay, they're in your face, but give it a month or so and you just naturally become more used to it. So I think by the time I had the story with Arthur and stuff, I was used to the cameras. If that would have happened maybe 6 months prior, I don't think I would have said.
As well, though, you didn't know what they were doing with any of this footage, did you? So when the first season aired, nobody had seen anything before that. No. So all these cameras around the place, and you're just thinking, what is this going to look like? How are they trying to paint us here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I remember watching the first series thinking, there's going to be so many goals from me in training. Like, how many training clips? How many times is it going to be like us doing good stuff?
Yeah.
I watched it. I was like,
I'm
not even in it. Like, so what I would have thought the documentary, it wasn't nowhere near where I thought the documentary, because how many hours did Milos, for example, film on Colliers and around the changing room, on the bus? Remember him filming on the bus? And it was just not
even like
tailored.
Fine meetings.
It was not tailored for me to watch. That's what it is. It's tailored for the American audience, and they've smashed that side of it.
Yeah, it's incredible. But even with you, your story, your personal story, I must confess, I didn't even know that you had that going on. Genuinely didn't know what was going on, because the defining moment for me was when we had a row away at Dover. So obviously me and you, well, I used to be on at you quite a lot.
Yeah.
And, for the right reasons. But I remember you saying at half time in Dover game, I don't know if you remember it, you said, Toze, just leave me alone, please. Just leave me alone for this moment. And I was like, right, okay, I hope everything's all right. So obviously then I kind of went to, is everything all right with Jordan? And then, of course, it then starts coming out what had actually happened. So for you to share that story is absolutely incredible. And for you to also keep that from the whole squad, again, unbelievable.
Yeah, I think football was the ultimate escape. Like, the worst thing I could have what I didn't want was to come to football and just relive what I was living at home. I came to football and forgot about it for that moment, and that's what I held on to every day, because I'd go home and live that tale that was happening, that story, or that what I had to live with every day. I'd come in, Gaffer would be brilliant. He'd check in with me most days. How was I? And I just come, and you lot made me smile. So that's what I wanted to hold on to.
Never thought I made him smile.
I know, and it's nice. It comes in for a nice escape. Everyone's really nice to him, apart from Ben Toze, who just pecks at his head all the time.
That's what he did best. I think I've met a lot of people now in football, but no one's drove the standards as well as you have.
Yeah, well said, mate. Well said.
How did you find it when it was aired? How did that make you guys feel, you and Kelsey?
I texted Milos privately. I thought, brilliant. I couldn't have portrayed our story any better than what he did. I thought he really got it. He really understood me and Kelsey. He understood the story, and I'll always be thankful to Milos. I get a bit emotional talking about it, but he portrayed it exactly how I wanted it to come across, and that's what I'm
We've got to give a shout out to Milos, haven't we?
What a guy, yeah.
Like, I only met him for a little bit while I was there. He left after basically the first 2 seasons, didn't he? But what a lovely bloke. Like, just unbelievable.
To be fair, we invited him to our Christmas do, didn't we? Remember Dublin?
I didn't. I couldn't come. I'd done my knee.
Yeah.
The game.
That game.
The day of it. Yeah. The day of it. Yeah.
Remember, he had that skiing accident and broke the life out of his legs as well.
He's done that.
I think it was on
jet ski.
Jet ski.
Jet ski. That was
Yeah.
jet
ski.
What a guy. We'll if we ever get out to the States, somewhere nearby,
it'd
we'll
be
get
nice
him on.
to hear.
Yeah.
I think he'd have
does
some
message every
brilliant
now and
stories and brilliant side of what it's like behind the scenes from a documentary point of view.
Yeah. So when you're at the PFA and you're doing so well, and no one's contacting you. I remember we were actually messaging. We messaged quite a lot actually, and does like self-doubt just kind of start to creep in?
I think it probably took a double confidence knock, because the first confidence knock is being there because you're not wanted, and then the second confidence knock was watching people get signed, which I believe I offered more than them. I think that hurt a lot, but that is the nature of the game. And the thing that frustrated me throughout it was he's not played enough games, he's not fit, and I'm sat in the PFA camp going, look at my data, like, look at I'm scoring. But obviously I understand it from the club's point of view, but when you're in that PFA camp, you're thinking the world's against you, like no one wants me, ultimately. So I was away from the missus, I was away from my firstborn, and then I just had a child, so I just felt like the world was on top of me. Obviously bills to pay and all that sort of stuff. I just had a newborn and no one wanted me. And then that was like the first 3 weeks, and people like, stick at it. But it was also coming from inside the PFA camp, so all the coaches are like, I'll put your name out there, I can't believe no one's took you. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but it's obviously it hurts to even hear that even a bit more, because I see it, I know it, I believe in my own ability. You see it, but ultimately no one is taking me, so something is amiss.
You want to hear it, but you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, it is. Instantly you're like, thank you, and then you go away thinking, oh, for God's sake, someone just take it.
Still haven't been picked up.
Still haven't been. And then it got to the end, it was like a running joke within the camp, but ultimately by the end, I think I'd done enough good work that I actually had a bit of time, like I said previously, just to go, oh, well, I can actually have a little bit of a pick now. So the tables turned very quickly, and like you said about the list and all that, I think clubs did actually really look into it this year and picked up a lot of people from there.
I think football when you're in it is incredible, isn't it? Like, especially when it's going well, it's double incredible. But it's very quickly changes as well. And when you are struggling for a team and trying to find somebody, it's hard work. It can feel like the end of the world at times, can't it?
And I felt, going back to Wrexham, I felt like I lived that so bad here, because we'd win, I'd drive to, I don't know, I'd call in the shop on the way home, and I'd get like hugs and, oh, well done, mate. Next week, we'd lose to a game we didn't expect to lose. For God's sake, wow, we're never going to go up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sat there going, mate, I don't need to hear this. Like, I just felt like I was in Wrexham and I could not escape.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing that come from me, and why I couldn't wait to get out in the end, because I just couldn't escape it, and it overtook my life.
But also, you wouldn't have witnessed this. You would have obviously seen it in your glimpses. But the year before we got promoted, Jordan was like unbelievable. Like, everything he touched turned to gold. It was literally, it was unbelievable. You were a bit like a cheat code, really.
Yeah.
He was playing. He was scoring. Everything he hit went in. He scored like worldie after worldie after
so
worldie.
in training, in fairness, like, don't get me wrong, I'm towards the end of my career here, but when he wound that left foot up, I'm not joking, mate. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible, because the players that can get the dip and the whip and the slip and finger breakers, we call them.
Yeah.
Finger breakers.
And I think, if anything, when I look back, I am gutted we didn't go up the first year, because I felt like I almost burnt out in the first year. And then I always remember Liam McAlinden, we were great friends of Mac, weren't we? One day he was sat in the car with us, and he went, my family keep messaging me saying, how are you not playing in Wrexham? And he said, I'm against the best midfielder in the league. And I felt like I was that year. And then the next year comes round, people go, why are you not playing? And I just felt like it switched with Elliot Lee. I believe Elliot was the best player in the league, wasn't he? He was brilliant when he come in. And I was up against the best player in the league. And I was getting injured. I wasn't producing what I'd done in the previous year. And I just felt like I had no way out in that moment. I just felt like Elliot was unbelievable, wasn't he? And I was just competing against that when I wasn't at my best, and I just felt really burnt out from the year before.
How much do you think injuries have hampered you?
A lot, because I believe in my ability. I believe, like you said, I've not really played with many people. I would say his left foot's better than mine, which I feel like is a fair compliment, fair comment. But if I look, it's frustrating. But then, if I look back, I've tried to erect why, or like I've sat down with S&C coaches and physios and looked why. So then the next time, I'll try and not do that, but something else creeps in. So it's really hard to put your finger on, and without it, I think in the perfect world, I would be probably playing now here, maybe still. I think ability-wise,
it's hard, isn't it? Because you see how quickly people can just go from hero to zero, really, putting it bluntly, and you just drop out of the game. And it's
Football's
so
honestly,
hard.
it's so unfair as well, football, because I've played with so many people who I can see they want to be injured. Yeah, you've seen them. You've seen them.
Oh, yeah.
You played with players that don't mind being injured. It's like, I'll take this for a little while, and then you come across other players that can't catch a break, just constantly picking up from innocuous somethings, little niggles, but it holds you back, doesn't it?
that's what I mean. From the first year, like I couldn't do any wrong, and I was like riding
Scoring
the wave.
headers, everything.
Scoring everything. The next year, I couldn't do anything right. I know it's hard not to read the comments, but I read it. He's not even bothered. He doesn't want to be here. There's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Yeah.
Like, I was representing my hometown club, and they're like, he's not trying. I got on that pitch and I couldn't give any more. I just wasn't fit enough because I did not get the run of games.
No.
Like, due to Elliot being very, very good and myself just not being there.
And with some quick fires, right? Out of the 3 Wrexham strips, what's your favourite at the moment?
I think the white and blue, because it's different and represents Patagonia.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's been picked a lot.
Everybody picks that.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. Footballing hero.
Wayne Rooney.
I thought he was going to say Chris Brunt, left footers.
Wayne
Honestly, I
Rooney,
just
I
think
love
What a dream.
He does.
Yeah.
He reminds me a bit of Chris Brunt. The way
I
he
thought you were
strikes that
Wayne
ball.
Rooney.
Yeah, but Wayne Rooney, what's up?
I thought he went the looks. I thought he was on about looks. Don't worry.
Don't put that much weight on. Right, one thing that really irritates you.
Hold on, sorry. Wayne Rooney. Why Wayne Rooney?
Why not?
Yeah, but people say different things about Wayne Rooney. I played with Wayne Rooney, and I love Wayne Rooney.
You
Put
know,
that name up there.
just when I grew up, I just thought he was the best player around. Like, obviously, you got your Messi and Ronaldo's, but I just thought Rooney was like unbelievable in his passion.
The aggression.
Aggression is passion.
Hero growing up, yeah. Who's the best ever British player?
Gareth Bale.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that.
Probably, yeah. Probably. But Wayne Rooney has to be in the conversation as well, you know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So-
Yeah.
his
Second to
aggression.
Bale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I
third behind
remember-
Giggs and Rush as well.
Because we used to be in
Wayne Rooney is behind it.
we used to be in the car and he used to just always say that. You know, the best British player was ever. One thing that really irritates you.
At the minute, Guardiola's spitting. I can't get over it.
How often does he spit?
Well, it's just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, he's just constantly spitting. I just think, it's not for me.
Does Guardiola smoke? He must do.
So he's just
He
gained.
looks like he smokes and he spits a lot.
He's not happy, is he?
No, he's not.
That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
What's
though.
your favourite away ground to have played at?
Halifax, because
Oh, hat trick.
I've scored a hat trick.
Hang
there,
on,
yeah.
tell people how quick your hat trick was.
First half hat trick, and I'm not sure who the last person is to score an away from home first half hat trick for Wrexham.
Oh, nice. What about a hat trick away from home?
Yeah, I think Moles has done that.
Yeah.
But not
Moles
in
has
the-
probably, yeah.
definitely
Moles
would
has
have done
not done that in the first half.
No chance.
Against Mr. Pete Wild.
Yeah, of course,
so
yeah.
Had a few laughs and jokes about that this year.
And the pitch as well was never very nice.
No. It probably slowed everyone else down, so
Yeah.
it helped me that
I
day.
think the
must have-
pitch is awful at
You
Halifax.
must have caught a bobble. Yeah, of
Pitch
course
is
you did.
horrific at Halifax, yeah.
I know. 'cause you-
Next question is...
Keepers get done and then
Hey, he went on to good things though.
Yeah,
He's
who,
gone
mate?
for a couple of
Who, Ben
mil since.
Foster?
Good player.
No, I don't know if Milinkovic Ali, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he
good-
could
good
be gone
mate.
for a
Oh
couple of
my
mil since.
gosh, what a player.
Worldy of
I
a
actually
player,
remember
mate.
saying to him after that
On the,
game.
did you? I
Yeah.
didn't see it on the day, but yeah, wow.
You
Wow.
didn't get near him that game,
No, I
did you?
didn't.
No, we
I
didn't.
didn't. And do you know what I said to him after the game? I said to him, you can't just pick and choose your games that you do it in. You have to do it in
Yeah.
every game. And I remember him looking at me thinking, oh, cheers.
No, you got a little quick naughty
There's a
hammer
lot
foot,
of stuff
you know.
that you say that people take on board, I'd imagine.
Yeah, see, it carries a
sorry.
bit of weight,
Oh,
actually. I know
what's
we
the
give you a
matter?
bit of abuse and that, but I think we love you, really.
Initiation song, what should go to?
Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strong.
I'm trying to figure out how that would even start.
You just know the chorus. Do the chorus.
Of course.
We
on,
claw,
It came
we
in
chain.
like a
Yeah, well then...
What's your favourite place in the world?
Thailand, I think.
Yeah.
I went there and I just think
Any particular place in Thailand?
Fifi Islands,
Yeah.
Fifi Islands, however you want to pronounce it. I just think I had a taste for it, and I just say to people, go and experience the world. I think, you know, my daughter now, there's nothing more I want to do than just go and take her to different parts of the world and just go and see how people live.
Love that.
Favourite coffee order?
A vanilla latte in the blonde roast from Starbucks.
From Starbucks,
Yeah.
blonde roast.
We've got someone here who loves coffee as well. What was you saying about Jordan's coffee art earlier? Is that what you call it? Latte art?
Questionable.
It's a big work in progress, you know.
Yeah.
It's a great Christmas
Questionable.
present.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying, you know, habits and that.
Yeah. Brilliant, George. Thank you so
Cheers,
much.
mate.
Cheers,
Loved
lads.
having you
Thank
on.
you.
man,
Pleasure.
Joe.